Hello everyone, thanks for watching. This cooler right next to me is a game changer for all my adventures in the summertime. Stay tuned, I'm going to tell you all about it. So this is my new cooler. It's an ICECO APL 55 12 volt dual zone fridge freezer. So full disclosure, ICECO reached out to me months ago to see if I was interested in using any of their products in my videos. I checked out their website and went through all the models, and I chose the APL 55 for a variety of reasons. So one of the first things about the ICECO 55 that caught my attention is the looks of it. It looks very rugged, and I love the styling that ICECO has used to create this cooler. This cooler just doesn't look rugged, it is rugged. It's built of aluminum. The aluminum comes in black and silver. Surrounding the aluminum are hard, solid rubber bumper plates and tie downs. So you can tell by the look of it, it's meant for overlanding, it's meant for being in the back of a pickup truck. ICECO says that it's actually water resistant, even with the vents for the cooling for the compressor. It has a water resistance rating. You can't dunk it in the pool, but a light drizzle, it'll be okay. The second reason I chose this is because of the size. ICECO has very small coolers to very large coolers. This is kind of the mid-range size to maybe larger. I'll put the dimensions on the screen so I don't mess them up when I'm telling you. But for me, it's perfect for a couple of reasons. One, it fits in the back seat of my pickup truck behind the driver's seat. Right now, I like using it there. It may very well go in the bed of my pickup truck when I complete my slide outs, but I haven't decided that. And the added bonus is that it happens to be the perfect size to fit in the kitchen area of Eddie, my DIY travel trailer. But the main reason I got it is for my overlanding adventures with the truck. Now that I have the rooftop tent from Princess Auto, I can do more single day trips with my truck, or kind of 1 or 2 nights, not have to pack really heavy in the summertime. I don't need to bring a lot of gear, but it is nice to have this fridge freezer combination. And we're going to get into the freezer thing because that is truly the highlight of this cooler. But let's continue to describe the outside of it. So another reason why I chose this model is because of the way it opens. I like that it opens this way because when it's in the back seat of my pickup truck, I can open it up and access all the items nice and easily. We'll get into the inside later, but the hatch is a soft hinge, which is pretty cool and solid. And they lock up by these metal clasps. You can hear that click. Again, very solid. It has 2 grab handles that are the same kind of quality and ruggedness of the hinges. And there's one on this side and there's one on the other side. The cooler is about 50 pounds or so, empty. So I have been having no trouble lugging it around. What I do is if I have it loaded up, I just take the baskets out to kind of lighten the load a little bit if I'm by myself. And I found it to just be manageable. So you probably can't hear it, but the compressor just turned on, and I wanted to mention that this compressor is a SECOP, S-E-C-O-P compressor that ICECO uses. It has a 5-year warranty. And some of the older electric fridges that I've used and gone through, the compressor becomes loud, and to be honest with you, the one that I was using at Eddie before, I got to the point where I was unplugging it at nighttime because the compressor would kick on and it was just had this rattle sound. It would wake me up in the middle of the night. So this thing is very quiet and it's very energy efficient. This is an APL 55. It has 2.4 inches of insulation all around it. So you may lose a little interior space, but what you gain is the efficiency when you're running this on a power source off-grid. So anyways, let's get back to explaining the outside of this and going over it. The front of it has outlets. You have your DC port, your AC port, which is your standard household outlet, and a couple of USBs to charge your cell phones and stuff if you've got it plugged in and you're using it. Up front is a very simple but brilliant LCD screen. Very clear even in bright sunlight. I'll go over how it works. There's basically 2 readouts and it's 2 compartments. So the first compartment on the left here on the LCD screen is your front compartment facing the latches, and that is your fridge section. And like typical, there's a small ledge and then there's a deeper compartment with a basket. The small area here, if you put pop cans vertically, the pop cans are the perfect height so you can close the lid. Tall boys will actually lean this way and they fit between the basket and that. So I'm not sure if that's why they designed it, but it does happen to be a perfect fit. This is the baskets. but we'll get into the interior in a minute. So the first LCD is the temperature of the first compartment, which is the fridge compartment. The second number is the compartment closest to the hinges, which is the freezer. And you can change both temperatures. You can have one as the freezer, one as the fridge. You can have the freezer section as a fridge as well. You can even take the divider out and use it as one big fridge. What's so smart about this cooler is when you take the divider out, the cooler recognizes that you've removed the divider, and it gives you just one option of temperature to control it as a fridge. There's actually a very simple app, which is right up my alley because I don't like overly complicated apps just to adjust temperatures and power and that sort of thing. So ICECO has its own app. I'll show you right here. So it works with Bluetooth with the cooler, and it works simply but efficiently. So then some of the other options on here are your cooling. You can do Eco or Max. So it has this ambient light, which is kind of cool if you're just working and food prepping in front of the cooler. And it has a kind of a breathing mode where it has this blue and kind of white that comes in and out. Haven't used it a whole lot, but I do like the ambient light if you're out here working on it. But with my setup, generally I have a lot of lighting. And then you can adjust if you don't want the beeps, you can adjust the sound, you can adjust the dim rate. There's a protection mode for low, medium, and high when charging it. And that's about it. So really simple but efficient buttons, really easy to understand, it's not overly complicated, which I don't necessarily want in a fridge. I just want it to be simple and I want it to work, which this does really well. On the back of the cooler, you have just a DC port and the 2 USB ports. And I've primarily been using the DC port in the back there because when I open up my truck door, this is what I see. I'm able to open it, I'm able to access the coolers, and I don't have any wires here. So the power station that I have powering it sits in the back seat and it's plugged in, and it's all very neat and clean and simple. And if I want to put stuff on here, some storage bags and stuff, I can put things on here while I'm driving, and I have a way of strapping this down in the back of the truck. Not that I do a lot of serious off-roading like some of you guys that are using this in the back of your Jeeps or Gladiators or that sort of thing where you're doing some serious overlanding. My ventures are remote but a little more tame roads, with abandoned forest roads being the majority of my traveling. Okay, so let's go look inside the cooler. This is near the end of my trip here, so down a few beers. Those go there. Again, this is the compressor under here. This is the first basket, which is a fridge basket. I got my eggs in here. This is the frozen section. You can see the ice cream, you can see the ice cubes, how frozen they are. Nice frost on there. And then this is the divider that comes out. Nice big area when the divider's out. That's just a fridge. There's a drain plug there to make draining it and cleaning it easier. There's a light here, and there's a light here for using it. Actually, the power just died. I'm charging my Jackery to recharge it. It just died, so that's why these lights aren't on, but I'll show you some B-roll of the lights being on. But which is nice is when the divider's in, you got the light lighting up the freezer, and you have a light lighting up the refrigerator as well. So I really like the idea of this, and just being able to pull, I like baskets, being able to pull stuff out and be able to access your stuff. The only thing I found is filling up the ice cube trays and getting them in here at the bottom is a little tricky. I had to get my fingers here and kind of lower them down. So ice cubes is probably one of the main things I'll be using this for, but I had to get a little creative with doing that. You can see how this lip right here insulates against the divider. I'm going to close this because I want to keep it cold. But again, nice soft close, works really well. The interior is white, easy to clean, smooth, not a lot of crevices to hide dirt and stuff. So that drain plug is going to make it nice and easy to clean. Yeah, nice and thick walls. I went over the insulation, which you can really see how thick the insulation is from here. There we go. And again, I told you, picking it up, not a big deal. So that's a rundown on the APL 55. Hope you got something out of the video. This video is being released on July 17th, 2024. There's a prime sale that ICECO is having to get some money off on the cooler. You can see the price of the unit on the website here. I'll post it on the screen. So ICECO is having a Prime Day sale during which the APL 55 will be 20% off from July 15th to July 18th and 15% off from July 19th to July 21st. And if you're buying at any time outside those dates, there's a discount code that I have personally that you can use. It's down in the description, and all the information you need for this cooler will be posted in the description below the video. So I love this cooler. I'll be using it all the time. It's going to be my main fridge freezer for my summer adventures, especially when the occasion calls for ice cream. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next one. Cheers.